Alright, so do you want to start us off by reading a passage from your beautiful book?
Okay, National Guard Reserves, go past that.
Oh god, that should be in the back.
Fort Polk. I'll read a couple of the titles and you tell me when to stop.
Alright.
So there's Haunted Barracks at Camp Schwab, Ghostly Girl on Camp Schwab as well. Whistling on Guantanamo Bay.
I thought that the last one, I'm not gonna lie, I thought that the last one was gonna be Whistling at the Ghost Girl at Camp Schwab.
Hell yeah, bro. Hey,
a lot of Camp Schwab going on there. So the fucking ghost of the girl can't be put to rest until they name the fucking base gate after her.
Hell yeah, bro. There's a Fallujah one, there's a Syria one. Little Girl Camp Lejeune.
How the fuck do you have to say it right, dude? We all know the right way to say it. You just say it wrong because it's better.
It's fucking French. I'm gonna say it the le oui croissant baguette way.
Look, dude. As Ratatouille.
That's Ratatouille himself.
I'm gonna just give my 2 cents. There's a ghost for every occasion on any
for every single military base. We got at least 5 dead prostitutes. More haunted than a fucking abortion center.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's one. Yeah, I can't. That's like a fucking factory for that shit.
Hell yeah, brother. There's Little Girl at Gitbo. So in Guantanamo.
Yeah, do that one. It sounds super fucking depressing. We'll start it off right.
All right. In 2013, I was in Guantanamo Bay with my infantry platoon guarding the base's fence line. The platoon we were relieving told us stories of a ghost on one of the posts. We all thought they were trying to scare us. A few weeks after we started standing post by ourselves, the guys from Balls 800, which is like midnight in the morning, post began complaining about being scared of their positions. No one thought anything of it. My good friend was standing on a post that was notoriously haunted. One that everybody complained about it. One night, I was SOG. What's SOG?
Sergeant of the Guard.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, he said, just driving around in my pickup when he radioed me to come to his tower. I'd assume yes, urgent. I head over and climb the stairs and I find him sitting in the corner of the room with his rifle pointed at the door. I ask him, what's wrong? He, obviously freaked out, replies, someone is out there, man. Someone that is not human. It's walking through things. So I start thinking, wow, these night shifts are starting to fuck with people. I spend some time with him, and then we get a phone call. I walk over to the phone box, open it, and answer, Lance Corporal blah blah, no answer. Then it wasn't Sergeant. The line goes dead, so I call all the other posts that are active and see if it was them. No one said they called. I'm pretty sure my call woke all of them up. So the only other option is the call came from the unmanned tower. The only other tower with a phone is right down the road. I get in my pickup and head that way, suspecting it's a Cuban who just crossed the fence and wants to be picked up and detained. I arrive at the post and I'm noticeably colder by a lot. This is Cuba. The temperature at night is pretty warm since it's on the equator, and I could see my breath. I walk up to the post and have to shove the door open. There are dead leaves and dirt all over the floor. No one has been inside of it for months, except the phone box was open and the phone was dangling. Then I get another call over the radio from my buddy. He said the thing was back. I get back in my pickup and race to the post. I run up the stairs and open the door. When I get through the threshold of the door, it slams shut behind me. Immediately I start to freak out. We spend some time in the tower together trying to figure out what's going on, and eventually I decide to leave. So I'm walking down the stairs, around the corner, in the square pattern of the stairs were made on. At the very bottom of the tower, it appeared to be a child. But the child is all white and translucent. By the time it takes me to draw my pistol, the child is gone. I look up, my buddy was poking his head out of the tower and said, I saw all of that. You aren't crazy. That's the end of that.
Damn, dude. Do you have any experiences with like any ghosts or anything like that?
Not because like he fucking saw the thing, so that's good. I've never seen anything paranormal in my life, even my time in, but also like I didn't go to anywhere.
I know you're
Like I'm an
Mexican. Are you
obey.
like Catholic?
Roman Catholic, yeah.
Yeah. So do you believe in
Non-practicing, yeah.
like that after people die that they might some part of them or some type of thing that there's there might be something going on here that we can't like understand or see or something like that, whether or not it has to do with you know us and a spirit or anything like
Yeah,
that aside. Do you believe in like anything like that,
I do.
like ghost type stuff?
I know that I don't know anything. If that makes sense. Like I know
Dude,
that I don't
I'm
know.
right on the page with that. Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna act like I know fucking everything and I've experienced everything just because I mean I've been on this earth for like 20 plus years, not that much. And like, oh yeah, fucking of course I know ghosts don't exist. Like, no, the fuck you don't.
Dude, I don't know, like I said, I'm on the exact same page as you, as in I don't know anything about this, so I can't say anything about it. And the only way that I
Yeah.
can kind of relate that feeling is like, and I've explained it to my wife before, kind of in a way, is like, you know how we can see like everything around us for so far and everything like that, and it's like compare ourselves to an ant. There are certain things that we can do with our brain just because it's literally built different that an ant can't perceive. And
Yeah, like
so
three-dimensional and we see
yeah,
different colors and they
so
see.
we have to accept that even if in our enormous hubris we don't want to accept that anything could be better or smarter than us, that still doesn't mean that we have the ability to detect or know about everything, even with like technology. Or maybe we're not at that point yet where we don't have that technology, but irregardless, I grew up in a house that had a ton of that shit going on, and it was a mad old house that was built in, I don't know if it was the late 1800s or early 1900s, but I know that whenever we moved in, my parents told us that it was over 100 years old.
Yeah, centenarian. I think those were
Yeah,
century home.
Yeah, it was pretty big when we moved in, and the other owner had already put like an extension on it, and then we put like a garage and then something to go on top of the garage on top of that. And I remember specifically like during all of that, everything was cool, nothing was going on or anything. And then, oh, and I should actually say that it goes back before that, because my mom, and before we lived in this house, or my childhood home, I should say, where I grew up the most, we lived in one other place, and on this place I didn't have anything going on because I was too young to remember, but my mom has told me plenty of stories. So I don't know if it's like something that followed her, or if we got unlucky with like two bad spots, or maybe it was just complete coincidence and I'm just out of my fucking mind and I don't fucking know. But whatever happened in this place happened after all the construction and everything took place. And the first thing that happened, I remember, I was a kid and I was in my room. I had a bunk bed that was like, it wasn't stacked one on top of the other like a rack. It was like the bottom one was one way and the other one was like perpendicular to it. So it was like one on the bottom going, x-axis, the other one on the top kind of y-axis, in the middle of it like a T or something. I don't know how to fucking explain it. And there's a little ladder going up the side.
Okay.
And so I'm going up the ladder, and the top of it is fucking just nothing but pillows up there. It was like pillow and blanket storage, basically. So I went up there and I was grabbing a pillow and a blanket. And I remember specifically that this was right after one of my uncles had took his own life. And as I got to the top of the ladder and I was getting on to like the top bunk, I looked over on my left side and I saw it looked like someone, like, Kilroy, that shit where it's like someone peeking over the shit with their fingers.
Yeah.
It was like that exact thing, but it was kind of like a translucent, like a mirage, like the heat coming off a car.
Yeah,
Except in it, it's like I could see like shadow of like where eye sockets were supposed to be. Not like it was no eyes in it, but it's like you could see like deep set eyes and like cheekbones and stuff like that. Like you could see facial features in a mirage, which is weird because a mirage is like a 2D thing. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like a 3D thing. It was like, I don't know, it was really weird, and I only looked at it for like 2 seconds, and it was also over a decade ago, so I don't fucking even know what's real anymore. And I remember specifically, I freaked the fuck out, I screamed, I took the blanket that was in my hands and I put it over my head because I didn't know what the fuck to do. I was like 8. And so there was a pillow on top of my feet, like, because when I had put the blanket over my head, I kind of like balled up, and so there was a pillow that was resting on top of my feet, kind of dangling half off that ladder. And after I put my head under the covers, the pillow like jerked like a couple of inches and fell off the ladder, and then I heard the sound of something like spring on the bed. And I remember like screaming so loud and like jumping off the top of the bed, not even using the ladder, and like hurting my ankle, and then running downstairs. And we had like a dog gate to keep our dog from going upstairs. I hurdled that bitch and like ran into the living room screaming and crying to my mom, and I told her what happened and everything. And I remember like the exact time, and I'm able to place everything because I remember like being so traumatized. And I asked my mom like, oh my god, what do you think that was Uncle whatever? And it was like such a somber moment for her, like as a mom, like not only because I had one of those moments and then possibly correlated it to that, but because she had been going through that for years at this other house, and we thought that it wasn't going to happen at this one. So then it kind of solidified like, oh no, I hope that this isn't, I hope it's just his imagination or whatever the fuck. But then it kept on happening, and it wasn't just that. The most prolific one, there's 2 of them, 2 other ones that always stick out, and then I've got a bunch of other stories too, but the ones that stick out the most are, I'm an Eagle Scout. So to become an Eagle Scout, you have to do like an Eagle Scout project. And my project was restoring a local graveyard for like a Revolutionary War leader or general or
not scary at all.
No, maybe it was civil. I think it was actually Civil War. You know what? Now I feel bad for not remembering, but it was a very important piece of local American history. And I restored.
How old were you too?
I was fucking 16. So like 11 years ago. No, 10 years ago. And so we took care of that. We like made it really, really fucking nice. We went to the ladies of the Historical Society chapter and everything. We talked to them. They thought it was an amazing thing that we were doing. We like dug up all the rotting lampposts and replaced them with fresh wood and like fresh fence shit. We went in and like tidied up around all of the gravestones and stuff, but we didn't disturb them because it was like literally historically protected stuff, and we didn't want to mess anything up. And after that, I started hearing like heavy boots walking up and down my hallway, like upstairs in our house. It was like a long hallway from the top of the stairs down to me and my sister's bedrooms, and I was all the way at the end of the hallway, and my sister's room was right to my door and then 90 degrees to the left. So I would hear footsteps coming up the hallway and then stopping at our doors. And sometimes, even though my door was closed, like, and it even sucked even more because our house, like where we lived, it was so humid. During the winters and the summers, the wood would expand and contract so much that my door wouldn't latch at all. So all the time it would just come unlatched and just in the middle of the fucking night as I'm hearing these heavy ass boots walking up and down the fucking shit. And so anyway, dude, that was one scary. Dude, that is a mild thing. That is a mild thing that happened. Now I'm about to tell you the 2 things that stood out. The other thing that happened was, and this was the scare. Okay, so I'll just tell it and then I'll hit you with the kicker. So I was sitting there playing Arma. It was like Arma 2, like back when I was in high school. On my PC upstairs, it was like 2 or 3 at night or some shit, like really early in the morning / late at night type shit. And I was finishing up my stuff, about to get ready to go to bed, finishing up my last game, and out of nowhere, like a paperclip just flew out of the darkness. Like my PC was up against a wall, but to the left of that wall, immediately where my desk ended, opened up, and then that area over there like went to the stairs and stuff, but there was a couch there, so you couldn't just walk to it. But if, you know, someone wanted to throw something at you from the stairs, they could. And it was pitch black over there, no light. And just out from over there, a fucking staple flew and hit me in the fucking forehead. And I was like, what the fuck? What was that? And I like looked down at my desk and I saw it was a staple. And I got up, I jumped over that fucking couch, I sprinted downstairs. I was like 16, 17 at this time, about to go in the Marines, dude. I thought it was a full grown man, and this shit brought me to my knees. And I was like a hardcore, like, atheist, autistic kid when I was in school. And this like made me start questioning like my quote unquote logic and reality. So
Yeah.
as I'm going downstairs, I was thinking, okay, maybe this is a prank. Maybe I'll run into someone who like did that or whatever the fuck. No, both of my parents were in their bed with the dog. My sister was staying at a friend's house. And guess why my sister was staying at a friend's house, Blue?
Why?
Because the day prior, and my mom told me this right before I got hit in the head with that fucking staple, a day prior, my sister was sitting in her bedroom with her friend, and a random staple hit my fucking sister in the forehead, and she was like, hey yo, friend, insert name here, why the fuck did you throw a staple at me? And she was like, I didn't throw a fucking staple at you, what are you talking about? And then randomly, for no fucking reason, a staple comes out of nowhere and hits her in the fucking head. Like, where the fuck are these fucking staples coming from? What the fuck sense does this make? And it's not like coming at any deadly speed or nothing like that. It's like someone flicked it at you. It's like just a single staple, perfect 90-degree angles, like someone broke it off the clip thing with their fingernail. And it's like,
that is fucking
where do
weird.
we don't even have staples upstairs. Where are these coming from? And it's like they're not coming out of the ceiling. They're not popping out of the fucking walls. Like, I know that our shit flexes with the humidity
like,
and everything, but these are not building staples. They're paper staples. And so my sister was staying at her friend's house because they were getting hit with staples in the fucking room, and it scared them so much that they left. And then I got hit with a staple in the fucking head. And so it was really funny because I was like making jokes with my mom. Like, I thought it was funny. Like, oh, these girls are so fucking psycho. Like, one of them's fucking with the other one. And then it happened to me. And I literally sprinted downstairs. Both my parents were in bed. And I slept on their floor for like a week until my sister came back because I needed to know that someone was in the room next to me.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, and this is the biggest thing of it all, dude. This is the reason that I know for a fact, like in my heart, in my life, from my experiences, anyone can say whatever they want, come up with any fucking scientific excuse, Google 18 things to disprove me of why I'm a fucking idiot. But
yeah,
oh my god, dude, this specific thing, like when I think about it, it gives me cotton mouth and my eyes like tear up. So when I was going upstairs one time, and this is once again right before I was going to boot camp or whatever, and this is after the staple incident. I was going upstairs. I had just gotten some like microwave, dude, I'm fucking shaking right now. I got some fucking like microwave taquitos or some shit. And I was like walking up the stairs, and when I'm walking up the stairs, it's a wall on the left side and then a handrail on the right. And it goes all the way up to the top of the stairs, and then it like does a little 90-degree turn. But for the majority of the stairs, it's just handrail and you can see into the kitchen. Now, next to the handrail, where it ends, there was a bookshelf, a wrought iron, like 150-pound bookshelf that had like cookbooks and like a fucking decorative rooster with fucking peppers in it, that type of farmhouse, fucking honky chic shit. And so as I'm walking up the fucking stairs, the bookshelf pivoted like 3 inches away from the wall, like dragged itself like as a extremely heavy thing would if you were dragging it across a hardwood floor. And
holy fuck.
At first I thought maybe it was the dog, but the dog was asleep in my parents' room like it always is, with the door closed on his little dog bed.
How the fuck would he push that? I don't know what kind of dog it is.
Well, it's like, I thought that the way that I rationalized it, because he's a chocolate lab, I was like, oh, maybe if his collar got caught on one of the like twisty bits, it would have like You know, he could have
Yanked it.
moved it or something and yanked it. But he was in my parents' bedroom asleep on his little dog bed with the door closed. And when I went up there, nothing snagged on me on it. I was separated by a handrail, and the top of it, it's like it was an 8-foot tall shelf, and the top of it was on line with my waistband. So I was like in nowhere near anything that could snag on it. And if anything did snag on it, I would have felt it on me because it's super heavy. And not only that, but it pivoted away from me. Like if I'm looking over the handrail at this fucking bookshelf that's against the wall, the right side of it that was closest to me pivoted away from me towards the center of the kitchen. So I freaked the fuck out. I bolted up the stairs, went into my room, slammed the door, turned the lights on, turned the TV on. I'm sitting there trying to eat my fucking taquitos so that I can try and put myself into a food coma or something and try and get some sleep after that fucking nightmare. I went to sleep clutching a Bible, and I'm not even religious. And dude, that's one of the things is that my grandmother, she always gave me, and she's a Jehovah's Witness, God bless her, or in her thing, Jehovah bless her or whatever. I don't even know if they believe in blessings, but she gave me this little like pocket Bible thing, and she was just like, if anything ever happens, whatever, because she knew about what went on at our place because my mom told her, and she was like, it's those goddamn, because you do tarot cards and you like crystals and this, that, and the third, because my mom's one of those crystal ladies. And
okay.
And so she thinks that shit's the devil, like Waterboy mom, or like Waterboy's mom, fucking Adam Sandler's mom. And so, and she's not that bad. I don't mean to sound like I'm bad mouthing her. I'm just being dumb and not funny. But
I'm trying to think if I've ever had like anything like paranormal like that happen to me. The closest thing that I've had, because I've always been very paranoid, but I've never had stuff like that happen to me. I've experienced one thing like moving. That like I was like you were saying, like the bookcase, like it moved like a decent amount. There's no way nobody else could have moved it. There's only one thing that's happened to me like that. I think it was like after school when I was like in 7th grade, 8th grade. Came home, and then so I'm in my living room. My living room, or I'm in my kitchen. The kitchen's looking at the living room. In the living room, we have like a little plasma TV we had. This was like a couple years ago. And then so my sisters were watching TV. No, my mom and one of my sisters. And then I was sitting down looking at TV with them. So they're facing away from me. They're looking at the TV, and I'm sitting behind them in the kitchen table looking at TV too. And I was eating like sandwich, and I was Hispanic, so I was eating like sandwiches, but like chiles de vinagre. So I have this big ass like bowl, like cereal sized bowl filled with like vinegar and hot peppers and jalapenos.
And I was eating it with a chancla.
Half a chancla. So I'm eating and I'm watching this, like them watch. I don't know what the fuck we're watching. So I have my plate, I have my drink, which is like where you normally place the burger in front of you, and I have the bowl like just within hand's reach. I go get the chilies or whatever, and then suddenly like I just see the thing move like legit like 4 to 5 inches to the right. It just fucking like dragged, and I'm like, what? Because this is it's a bowl just filled with liquid, and it's right in front of me. It's like 3 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon, and it's like my house is in an angle, like the table is in an angle, like there's no fucking wind strong enough to push a bowl of liquid that fucking far. And
see, and it's like when you're confronted with something like that, your immediate thought is, okay, how could this have rationally happened?
Yeah, and I'm like,
it's not like you immediately go to, oh my god, that was a ghost.
And it was like,
you know what I mean?
For me, it was like right in front of me. I wasn't like paying attention to it because I'm watching TV, but it's like right. So don't worry, like somebody come and just like tapped it and pushed it out of the corner of my eye, because it's like it's right in front of my face, like right beneath my nose, and it just fucking moves like 4 or 5 inches to the right, and I'm like, and I go call my mom and bring her over, and I'm like, Mom, this just fucking happened. What the fuck? And she's like, say, mijo, it's okay. And I'm like, That house that we lived in, we didn't have anything crazy. I would hear sometimes like the sink maybe like being like turned on a little bit, like from the kitchen, because like my room was like right next to the kitchen. It was like small, like one of those trailers, which was like a house, like a double-ended trailer that they put together. So like,
Yo, the internet skeptics be like, yo, that's the perfect distance for the fisherman from the State Farm commercial to snag your bowl
dude,
and drag it from the closet.
Dude, if somebody would have fucking that would have made sense to me. But it's like, how the fuck? But I would hear sometimes like little like dripping from the faucet, which I don't know if it's just like the water leaking, but like the faucet never fucking dripped. It was only at night that I would hear like drip, 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 and I was like, okay, it's fine. I've had things like that, but back when I used to play video games a lot more than I do now, I would have it like if I played Minecraft, Fallout, or whatever. You know, like the in-game sounds, like for like either placing a block or choosing an item, or like Fallout, like be like loading something or clicking on something. I would hear that in real life. Like I'd be just in school or doing stuff, and I just hear like somebody place a block, and I was like, "What?" And it was just my brain. I think like hearing the noise over and over again, like replaying it, and it was like I swear I fucking heard it. Same thing if I play like Skyrim, whatever like little noises, like opening a door, or like little things that you would do, like split-second noises, I would hear them constantly. And I think it was just me being obsessed with the game and like wanting to like playing it every single day for like hours. That to the point like I could hear noises, which this isn't really the paranormal thing, but then scare shit would scare me in the middle of the night because I would hear like random noise, and it was just my brain making that noise up.
Metal door open.
Yeah.
MP3.
Oof. It's fucking yeah. But other than that, I don't think I've had anything like paranormal happen to me, other than me just being paranoid and thinking I see like a face and something that there's no face.
What do they got? Ouija boards.
I say the fuck away from them. I have no interest in playing with them. I have no interest in fucking with them. I have seen enough scary movies, and I'm super paranoid that even if nothing happens from them, I'm gonna be on edge for at least 2 weeks afterwards, and I don't want that in my life. Dude, I'm a pussy, dude. I can't watch like scary movies before going to bed, because then I get crazy nightmares. Because like you, my imagination starts acting up, so my nightmares will be super fucking scary, super dark. And me, I don't normally dream. I close my eyes, it's just pitch black, and I'll wake up. So rare for me ever to dream, but I know if I watch a scary movie, this is a nightmare. Like I am 100% gonna get a nightmare. So if I ever do watch a scary movie, it's like Disney movie right afterwards. I don't give a fuck. We're watching fucking Stitch. We're watching Mulan. I don't give a fuck. I need to get my mind in a different mindset before I go to bed, so I make sure I don't have a nightmare.
You want to know what's an absolute bitch? I don't have dreams at all unless it's a nightmare. I do not have any type of
recollection
dream that is that I have remembered or that I've been lucidly present in that has not been an absolutely terrifying fucking
I've
nightmare.
only had 2 lucid dreams in my life. Both are fun as shit.
I've probably had about a dozen, and they were the opposite of fun as shit.
Oh no, dude. No wait. I've had 3 now I remember. So 1,
they made me wake up and want to shit.
2 were fun. I was realized I was in a dream. So like when I was riding a motorcycle and I was like, fuck yeah, and I was just going like fast as fuck in the road. And then the other one, I was like flying through a library, and I was just like realizing I like was flying on command. The third one was, I think, oh fuck, I haven't thought about this dream in like a while. So it was like, I think we were in a warehouse and there's this guy hunting me and my mom down, and I was like 8, 9. He's hunting us down, and he eventually corners us, and I'm aware this is a dream, but it's like I need to get my mom out of here. And then like we're trying to find around, and then he comes, and this is like a huge, like 6'7", 7-foot like guy, like 6'7" or 7-foot guy, big, tall, like muscular dude. And like I like stand between him and my mom, and I'm like, no, and he just pulls out a shotgun and fucking blasts me in the chest, and then wakes me up. And I was like, what the fuck was that?
Jesus.
Yeah. So like my dreams, they don't predict the future. They kind of tell me like what I'm thinking about at the moment, if I'm stressed or not. And my wife,
Oh, word,
every
yeah.
single time, without fail, and this has happened 6 to 7 times, she has a dream that she's pregnant, or that someone around in her dream, like she's in a baby shower, there's babies involved. Within a week, one of her family members says they're pregnant, and it has happened 6 to 7 times. That to the point, like I already know if she has a dream that she's pregnant, we are like, oh fuck, who's pregnant now? And again, without fucking fail, and it's so fucking crazy. And we talked about it. We said like, what, like, how the fuck does this work? Like, what's gonna happen whenever you get pregnant? It's like, is one of your sisters gonna have a dream you get pregnant? Are you gonna dream about you being pregnant? Like, but like, it's so fucking insane that there's no way for us to explain it. But again, like every single time she has this dream that she's pregnant, somebody near us is pregnant, and there's no
Fuck
way I can
me.
explain it.
That's crazy.
But it's one of those cool, like it's not like a bad omen. It's not like bad stuff.
Nah, yeah, that's just one of the things that's kind of like, that's one of the things that people would be like, oh my, you have a gift.
Yeah.
You're one of God's chosen.
Well, yeah, what you could say, yeah, it's a blessing for her because again, like every single time without fail. And if it's not somebody I know, it's one of her friends from high school. She's like, within 2-3 days, I was like, oh, my friend from blah blah was pregnant. Like, hey, didn't you have that dream a couple days ago that you were pregnant? Like, oh yeah. I'm like, that's why. Or like, like that's why she got. That's why she's not why she got pregnant, but like that's what it was telling you. So my wife's dreams, whenever, so her dreams can not predict the future, but like let us know. None of my dreams will tell me the future. None of my family's dreams tell the future. There's little things that like my mom used to be really big into, like reading dreams and seeing what they like explain and meanings. So I know some of the meanings. Like if your teeth are falling out, like that's bad luck. If you see a snake in your dream, you have to kill it. If not, that's a bad omen. So if you kill it, you get rid of the omen. There's like little things like there's a couple.
My wife has the teeth one.
Yeah, her teeth falling out.
Yeah.
For either from my mom's side,
it hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah, so for my mom's side, it's either like you're either super stressed out or something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, it was because she was super stressed out. That's 100%.
Yeah, it was stressed out, and you just like your teeth will just fall out.
Dude, I remember one time I had a dream when I was living in New York, and it was just like, you know how like in that one episode of SpongeBob, Squidward falls through the time machine and he's in that place and he's like, I'm all alone.
Yeah,
yeah, it was kind of like that. I was in one of those places.
That's true.
And it was just like, it was like I was in a, here's a good explanation, except without all the words and shit. Yeah. It was just an empty space that was completely illuminated, literally kind of like the room that we're in right now. It was like it was like I was dreaming in an Assassin's Creed loading screen.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Except it wasn't white, it was all completely dark. But even though it was pitch black, it was like I could see everything. Like there was nothing, but I could see myself perfectly as if I was in luminescence. Like as if there was some type of light, like, but there was no light anywhere.
You were like in a void.
Yeah, exactly. And somehow there was light there and I could see whatever. And it was just me. And even though there was nothing below me, or at least that I could see, I was standing. It didn't feel like I was falling. And it was just literally me standing there. And then all of a sudden my brother-in-law appeared in front of me. And he literally, this was the entire dream, was me just standing there in darkness for what seemed like eternity. Just like whatever. And then he came up to me, it just appeared out of nowhere, and he said, this is one of those other things that kind of makes my hands shake whenever I talk about it. He said, dreams are your brain's way of preparing you for what is to come. I didn't want to mess it up, so I had to take a second to remember what he said.
I've heard that before.
And literally after he said that, immediately after, as soon as like he said that, period, dot, and as soon as the sentence was over, boom, I woke up. And I shot up out of bed, which was weird because it wasn't a nightmare.
Yeah.
So you'd think that I'd just wake up and be like, whatever. But it was as if, whenever you have a nightmare and you wake up, your adrenaline and your body is pumping from the scenario you thought that you were in. It was exactly like that, except my mind was calm, but I still shot straight up, which was really weird because that never happened to me. It was just odd. I don't fucking know.
That is.
And after that happened, later that week, we ended up going to his house. And let me fucking tell you this, because this is really the kicker. For no reason whatsoever, never in my life have I ever kept like a dream journal or anything like that, right? Like I've never written down anything from any of my dreams. But as soon as I woke up and shot up out of bed, something in my head, like, sometimes you just have a gut feeling and you're just like, it's kind of like your body is like controlling yourself. You're sort of just on there. You're just there for the ride. Kind of like whenever you're driving down the highway and then you just end up at your destination. You're like, how the fuck did I get here?
3 miles.
So it was kind of like
noticing.
that. And and it's like, after I knew it, I had written it down in my phone because I always have notes of like a lot of shit in my phone, but I've never ever written down a dream. But I thought that was significant and I wanted to write it down. So I was like, okay. Dreams are your brain's way of preparing you for what's going to happen. And later that week, we went over to his place and we're hanging out, just smoking some cigarettes, going to his place. My wife's outside, finishing the last couple of drags on hers. I go in there, he pours me a whiskey. We have some whiskey. And I'm like, hey man, you want to know something really fucking crazy? And I pulled out my phone and I went to the notes and I opened up the notes. And I said, I had a dream about you a few days ago. And now that I think about it, it was probably like 2 or 3 days before I went over there. So enough time that I had completely forgotten about it until, randomly thinking about it over a whiskey.
Yeah.
And I pull out my phone and I said to him, I had a dream about you the other day, dude. And he goes, oh, did you know that dreams are just a way of your brain like telling you what's gonna happen?
Holy fuck, dude.
Like he said verbatim what I had written down in the notes, and I just like, dude, my jaw fucking dropped, and I looked at him and I said, dude, if this didn't happen the exact way that it just happened, you wouldn't fucking believe this. And without like moving my thumb or anything, I just turned my phone 180 degrees and showed him the words that he just spoke, word for fucking word. And as he said it, I heard the door close and my wife came in and she looked into the kitchen and her jaw was on the fucking floor, dude. And then she just like walked over to a pillar in the middle of the room. Her back fell onto it and then she fell down to the floor, like sank down, just like, what the fuck? Because I told her a couple of days ago, like, dude, I had a really fucking weird dream about your brother. He said this. And we never said anything to him about it or anything. Yeah. Like it was because it didn't come up. Why the fuck would she just randomly text her brother about whatever? They spoke maybe once a fucking week, the only time that they spoke. And I went through her phone to fucking check because I wanted to make sure she wasn't messing with me, because that's what I always do. I always need to narrow down the shit and make sure, you know what I mean? So, I mean, if she did and it was her messing with me, she deleted the evidence. And I don't know why she would have expected me to go looking for any.
That's what'd he say?
He was just like, same thing. We were all just stunned. We just sat there for a second in silence and like looked at the floor and thought about what to say next, because it was really fucking weird. It was one of those moments that like, even though maybe I can say it and people can go, oh wow, that's a wild story that this guy 100% totally made up. That's the reason that it's so crazy to me in my memory, that it's such a significant event in my life, is because it's something that can never be replicated again, I don't think.
Yeah.
But fuck, man, I know that was a really weird tangent to kind of go off on, but anytime that I talk about this type of stuff, I get all philosophical.
I like it, dude. I like it because it shows a little bit more. I knew as soon as I was going to read a story, we were going to go down a good path, and I think it was a good path that we went down. I wish I had more stories. I don't have any more like paranormal, or because like again, like I don't dream like you, in the few dreams I do have, they're either nightmares or they're like, nothing crazy. Just like when my wife, like she either has, so she has dreams where like if somebody's pregnant, if she's pregnant or somebody she knows is pregnant, somebody's gonna come up pregnant within the week, or her normal dreams are just super violent, like extremely violent, like her,
Like her against something or something against
like
her.
her fighting somebody or something, and then like having like a knife or like just like fists.
Who is the victim, or are they equal combatants?
Equal combatant. Sometimes she is the
Oh,
one.
that's pretty badass.
Sometimes
dude.
she's the one losing end. Sometimes she fucks up the other person or whatever.
Okay, hold up, pause. Your wife has to be a fucking superhero, because I know that I speak for many a people when I say that when I try to throw punches in a dream, it's like I'm throwing them underwater, dude.
She tells me that too, but she does not give a fuck. She still fucking tries, and then I don't know. Some of her dreams, like
Maybe that's just like, because if it's a lucid dream enough for her
No.
to remember like that.
No, they're not. They're not
even
lucid.
if it's not a lucid dream of being in control, like the lucidity comes in whenever you realize it's a dream, then you can take control. But I just mean, I'm using the wrong word. I just mean very vivid.
Oh yeah,
dreams.
they're very.
So if she's having
very
vivid dreams where that's a thing, then I think that that's pretty badass. Because when I hear that, I hear, and this is me being an armchair psychologist, that it sounds like she, like, subconsciously feels like she's weak, but she's like fighting through it, and in the end is ending up like victorious a lot of the time. You know what I mean? It's
my
like
wife-
powering through
my
it
wife's-
and proving herself wrong. Like, yeah, maybe it feels like I'm punching through water, but in actuality, this is a Hadouken coming through in slow motion. He doesn't even fucking know it.
Yeah, she has these crazy violent dreams that are like, some people would call them nightmares. So she's like, no, they're just her dreams. Her fighting people, or her getting in fights, or like knives being involved.
And you let her join what branch?
Air Force. I told her if she wanted to join the Marines, she could have, but then it was like,
She
join
could
the
be
Air
a
Force.
goddamn machine gunner.
No, I was trying to like, join the Air Force. You're gonna fucking mow all the kids down, and you'll be fucking fine.
Hell yeah, dude. Anytime that I get the opportunity to go overseas and shoot at underage civilians, I want to do it from a guard post, not a Vic.
Dude, that's what I'm fucking saying. From the fucking A10 Warthog, that's what I want to shoot him from.
Yeah, dude, I want to make sure I'm within easy reach of my battery stash so I can replace them on my little fan necklace that blows up onto my beard.
And my Mountain Dew, brother.
Got 6 cans, shit from back home, $30 each.
Hell yeah, brother. Fucking, well, I was gonna tell you before, like, that we were telling the stories, like, you know how some people have, like, their, like, or, like, kids have, like, their blanket that they carry, like, this is, like, their safety blanket, or they feel comfortable with it.
Oh yeah, their security will
I have my security gun. I literally had to go to my room, and my gun's unloaded. It doesn't have any rounds in it, but me just having it makes me feel comfortable.
Bro, why do you think that I got that burner?
Yep, exactly. Like, that's, dude.
It's literally, did I tell you the ammo that I got for it?
The CS gas one, did you get that one?
No, dude, I got fucking 10 gram steel ball bearings coated in nylon.
Oh, it's a fucking bullet.
No, it is a 68 caliber rock.
What the fuck is a shotgun shell shooting then?
Smaller than that. A 50 cal slug?
Yeah.
Hell no, I got 18 whole more calibers in my little air pistol, buddy. You want to come over here and test me? I'll pop your head like a coconut, buddy.
Hell yeah, brother. Yeah.
I tell you what, Bunk, you ain't got a chance against me, cat.
For me, like I said, I had to, like, sometimes I'll sleep with, like, I have a gun in pretty much in every room in my apartment. And it's just because I like just having, so I can, like, dry fire practice with my guns. But also, like,
Every time that you enter a room, you like OCD, instead of flip a light switch, you walk over to that room's specific gun and you give 3 rubs down the wood grain.
you're not far off. I grab it and, like, oh, check that it's doesn't have any rounds. I'll rack it a couple times, and then I'll just start dry firing in the side. And that's just, like, I feel comfortable. Even if it doesn't have any rounds in it, it's like, I just feel, like, more secure. And that's just my paranoia, fucking. Cause, dude, I live in a fucking predominantly, like, rich white neighborhood, like, in front of fucking, like a high-end high school, like there's nothing bad, like nowhere near me, not even in the hood. But I was raised in the hood, so like I always have like somebody's gonna come through my fucking window. And I swear to God, I'm shooting right in the fucking dick. Even though I live on the second floor.
You can take a falcon out the wild, but you can't take the wild out.
You motherfucker, you can't. And fucking
He can't be chained.
can't be controlled.
All right, well, you want to wrap it up now?
Yeah, we'll do the fucking so for the first story that I read, that was from Tales from the Grid Square, Volume 1, Stories of Paranormal Military Experiences by Nick Orden. They have a Instagram page called Tales from the Grid Square. And then the book that I'm reading, I'll see if we can flash like a picture right now, or we'll put a link down below if it's on YouTube where we put this.
Send me the link and I'll put it in the description.
They sell it on Amazon and you can go buy one. They just came out with Volume 2. So I'm planning on reading a couple more stories from this book. I'm not going to read everything, just like you guys can experience some of the stories too. And Volume 2, I'll probably get it once we're done with this and share some of the stories as well. And if you guys...
So if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious, head on over and fucking get that book.
Yeah, it's got some scary stories. But again, like if any of y'all have any stories that you want to share, you think are interesting, cool, paranormal or not, we prefer military, but if it's not military, it's fine. Like just any stories, and we'll try to read them. We'll go from it. Yeah, Tales from the Grid Square. I am Blue, or Dick, or however you want to fucking call me, or Falcon. But we'll just go. I'll go by Blue here. I run BlueFalconWars.com and FixedBayNets.com.co. Both have Instagram pages with similar fucking ats. And yeah, so buy my shit if you want like any of that shit. But mostly this is just for like sharing stories with buddies and friends. So if you like this, share with a friend, or like, subscribe, whatever the fuck you gotta do. The things. Could be a good noodle. Help us out.
Yeah. And I'm Dale Jumpshot Jr., aka the Bastard. I have to say aka now because I'm no longer really the Bastard, especially on Instagram, because I got banned for cyberbullying, so you won't find me there anymore.
Based.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you, and we hope to see you on another episode of Paranormal Risk.
Yeah, Liberty Risk Paranormal.
The Liberty Risk podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, this is not a fucking ghost podcast. This is just how this ended up. All right, you're on the ride with us. You got to fucking take the licks as they come. All right, and we're licking a lot. If
you have any good stories yourself that you'd like to submit, go to my Instagram at Blue Falcon Award, not awards, no S at the end. And then just like DM me your story.
Yeah, I'll put it on the screen. DM him your shit if you've got shit for us to lick.
Yeah, brother. And if it's lickable, we'll lick it real good. If it's not, we'll be like, gross, blah. And yeah, that's it. So y'all have a good rest of your day or night, or whatever the fuck you're doing. Stay belligerent and go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and if it's your birthday,
Happy birthday. What's gonna happen whenever you get pregnant?